feel that I can be the best version of myself and show up as the best mother I can be and work my 9 to 5 and kill it. Now, I'm not saying that women cannot do that. I don't want to be working a crazy 9 to 5 and then taking care of 2 kids and like taking care of the household. Having 2 kids is a luxury. Like, I would love to have 2 kids, but if there are some financial constraints and I'm not able to not work my 9 to 5, I don't think we should have the second kid. That way I can still be working, you still working, and we can maintain our standard of living. And when I say standard of living, I have a pretty high standard of living because I'm a bougie girl. I grew up extremely comfortably. I am a little bit spoiled and taken care of in that way. And I do expect that to continue for the rest of my life. Like, why would
Translation, I'm a gold digger. That's all she's saying. I'm a gold digger. That's the translation.
I want to suffer? You know what I mean? This part of our conversation is key. I said that if I'm no longer working, then in addition to expecting that he will pick up all of the bills of our household, he also will need to pay me an annual salary, like on a monthly basis, so that I have my own money in order to like put away, to take care of myself and put into my retirement, whatever. And he was like, well, you can use my credit card. And I was like, no, I'm definitely using your credit card for day to day, but I also need an income for like the job that I'm going to be doing as a stay-at-home mom. Because like stay-at-home mom is not free, right? If you were to hire a cleaner, a cook, a nanny, these separately would cost you money on an annual basis. So just
No, they wouldn't, because he would do some of those things himself. He would clean for himself. He can cook for himself. Meal prep is a thing. Or he can order out. Men are not as expensive as women think. Usually men spend more when they get into relationships.
Because I'm doing it doesn't mean that you don't have to pay me. The reason for that is right now, obviously we're in love and things are good, but God forbid something were to happen in the future and we're no longer in love and we're going through a rough patch and we're getting a divorce. I would be so fucked. I'm giving up the momentum of my career. I am giving up my earning potential. And all of a sudden, let's say like 10, 20, 30 years down the line, and I suddenly want to come back and get a job. Like, it's not going to be that easy. My salary is going to be very significantly impacted, right? And he doesn't understand that. He does not understand why I'm so worried about quitting my job. This part of the discussion is where a lot of women get frustrated because not only do we want our labor to be recognized, but we also want to protect ourselves.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa. Should women who are stay-at-home mothers be paid, y'all?
Hell no.
A salary for being a wife.
Hell no. That's their responsibility, the way it's a man's responsibility to pay them bills. Now, if she's paying bills, it would make more sense if they're going 50-50. But if they're going 50-50, even more so, she doesn't need to be paid. This is getting out of hand, man.
Your
I don't know that it's a terrible idea, but I do think that in the event that she was paid in that position, should they not end up together, then there should be like no alimony. Like, because she still had money to do what she needed to do. I could see maybe if she quit, she has no money coming in from anywhere and she's just kind of sacrificing herself and her career or whatever to, for the greater good of the household. If something happens, I can see how she ends up on the downward side of things. So I can kind of see where she's going with that. And I can also see what she's talking about when she says that children are a luxury, but I don't think it's two. It's probably the one as well. Like, what's the difference? I just wonder what the difference would be between her having 1 kid and 2. Like, what would change so much in her life where it's like, oh, well, now I have to stay home.
No, she doesn't make any sense because women like to talk about, oh, I'm not working, I'm not earning any money. If the relationship ends in case of a divorce, then I'm going to start from zero. No, you're not. Usually in a divorce, if the woman wasn't earning any money, even in states that don't have alimony, usually the man is told to give the woman spousal support as she gets on her feet. Child support. Usually the man is kicked out of her house so the woman can stay in the house with the kids. The only times where the woman may be told to leave the house is if they didn't have any kids. The woman can easily leave. But usually when there are kids involved in case of a divorce, the woman usually stays in the house with the kids and the man is kicked out of the house. Most judges do that. Unless they have several houses, then the woman could be told to leave the main house and go with the kids to a different house. But no woman is just kicked to the curb after divorce.
Daycare probably gonna get too expensive. I don't know. It does sound like she needs a prenup.
Well, she said that the difference would be. She said the difference would be that if she had one kid, she felt like she would still be able to work her job. She had two kids, she felt like she had to actually stay home. I had to cut it out because it was like a 4-minute video, and so I just clipped up the best part. But that was
right. But I'm saying, like, why would you need to stay at home because you have two? Is it the cost of daycare, or is it like, oh, well, now I should actually parent these kids? Like, what makes the difference? Why would you not want to be at home with the one? Like, why does the one not get the benefit of you being home, whereas the two would?
I don't know the full context. That's all I can give you.
Because she wants free money.
So,
that's it.
but there's this huge conversation now, especially with the rise of independence of women, where they basically are saying they believe that they should get a salary as a stay-at-home mom because the effort that they put in to parent the children, plus what they give up, should also afford them a level of security and independence.
No, the security is called child support in case things don't end up well. And the security is called, in the meantime, if you are living by yourself, you'll be working and spending all that money on the same bills. But now you have a man who's taking care of everything, and all you got to do is stay home, cook and clean. And you don't have to clean every single day. And then when the kids grow up and they start going to school, then you can even go find a job.
Just an allowance.
Kind of. I mean, but the other part of that is if somebody's paying you a salary, can't they fire you? Or like, what do they do to air their grievances? Because I'm not going to pay for something that I don't think is worth the money. Like, what if you're a terrible mom? What does that look like?
Right. Because if you're getting paid, then you should be evaluated on your job, right? If you're doing a job and you're using it like a job. So if you're not a great mom, or if you forgot to pick up the kids from daycare a couple of times, then your pay should be docked, right? Like,
cooking.
How does that work? Exactly. So I don't know. I think being a parent is a responsibility, not necessarily a job.
I think that a lot of women are saying that if they are career women, then they are giving up and making a sacrifice. Whereas
That's true.
The guy himself doesn't have to make the same sacrifice as far as his career earnings. But
no, actually, that's not true. Men make sacrifices as well. How? If a man is single, sometimes all he needs to do is work 40 hours, take care of his bills. He doesn't have to spend money on shopping. He doesn't have to take 5 trips a year. He doesn't have to pay for kids. So when he gets into a relationship or a marriage and they have kids, sometimes now he has to buy a house, pay a mortgage. He has to work more than 40 hours because he has more people to take care of. So the man is sacrificing his body. That's why most men die earlier than men, because they're sacrificing. If women thought men providing wasn't such a big sacrifice, they wouldn't be telling men to continue providing, even if they make their own money. All they would literally do is make those babies. As soon as the babies come out in 3 months, they would tell the man, you stay home with the kids. I'm going back to work to provide for us. How many women are lining up to be the sole providers so that they can sacrifice less compared to staying home with the kids? Zero. Because they know actually getting up every morning to go punching is a bigger sacrifice compared to just staying home to cook and clean and play with the kids. It is the truth. So men actually sacrifice more because they have to beat down their bodies for the next 40, let's say a marriage lasts 40 years. For the next 40 years, the man who was used to working 40 hours and living a normal lifestyle, because in a relationship, women tend to spend more. So the man has to make more money. So he has to work more hours for a longer period of time. He has to forget about all this shit of retirement. So the man literally sacrifices as well, probably much more than women do. But y'all are cooked. Women are saying you got to pay them to be in relationships. You got to pay them to be stay-at-home moms. Yeah, but shout out to Anton Daniels. Let's move.